So you should have managed now to have a column and the column that's got shared parameters in there. So let's have a look at how you then create a schedule and create drawings using these parameters and using these two families or two components. You have to load them into something called a project. Let's start off at the top with Revit then, and if you just close this one down, you could close this column down, say yes you want to change save the changes, and then you could start by opening a model. So you could open one if you'd started before. This one wants to be a new one. So start off with a new model. These are called models or projects. So you can see these are projects by name, but it's also called them models. And these are families, and elsewhere you find them called components. So it's a new model, which then says this is a new project, which is a bit confusing. And there's different templates. You want the construction template. It's a project, and press OK. This is just basically calling up a blank, almost like an area where an area in 3D space where you can create your model. So these here are little symbols. You're looking down on now it's got more than just plan. It's got level 0, level 1, site level. You can see these are arrows looking at your model. No model in there at the moment. And then elevations, rather than being called front and back like they are in when you're making a family, these are now given coordinates or north, south, east, west. So this is kind of in a real world environment. So imagine this being your site. So for the brief, it says which way the column is going in relation to these coordinates, north, south, east, west, these directions. So how do you get a family into here? There's two ways. You can either import it from here by saying you're inserting and load a family, or from the family you can load it into a project. So I'll show you this method. So load the family. So which family do you want? So this is then taking you into, well, where is your family? So whenever you've been saving things, you need to know where your things have been saved. So you need to navigate your way through to where your documents are. So we just did a column here. If I open this, that's now loaded it into what I like to think of as the memory of this. It's disappeared, nothing's happening. There's two stages. You now have to go into architecture, component, and place a component. So just imagine you could have put lots of different models in here, and then you're choosing which ones you wanted to put in. So this column here, you can then just click and drag this into here. And you can see the scale of this. So I need to zoom in because I can hardly see. And if I zoom in, I can just see now the eye beam, so you can see where you are. So the first thing you're putting in here, you might want some context. I'm going to put it in the middle of here because I'm going to be making this site a bit smaller. So I'm going to put it into the middle of here and click and drop that down. Double escape. And then if you did ZE, it just centralizes the view, this being the viewport. For this model, we'll be able to bring these in and have a smaller viewport, but let's for now go down here. So the other thing we wanted is a base plate. When you bring a base plate in, you're thinking about datums and where things are going. There's no reference lines on here. You could create them. So you could create reference planes and then decide where things are going. Depends how you want to do it. So we know that the reference plane is the 200 by 200 for the base plate, so we could start putting some things in here. Let's load the base plate then. So if I now did insert, so this is the same procedure again, load family. This is in the same place, so I've not had to navigate. Again, I've got a base plate with holes here. Let's choose that one. Let's open that up. Again, gone into the ether. Architecture, component, place a component, and you see base plates here. Drag this in. But see now you've got to put it somewhere. So you've got to make sure these are put in a proper way. So you've got to think about how you do this. So you've got those two, and then you could think about how you actually specify this in the middle. I'll leave that to you. Anyway.